Hello, my name is Aladin. Welcome to my show. Today we have another amazing guest, and I'm going to talk about creativity. And when we are actually a child, we are very, very creative, and as we grow up, we seem to lose that creativity, and we seem to sorry, there's weird loss of focus there. So as we grow up, we lose our creativity, and the thing is about that is being creative when you know is actually inspired us as well. Actually makes us tune into our inner self, and also helps us to meditate. So we're going to talk about creativity, and I'm going to introduce Amanda. Before I do introduce her, I'm going to give you a wee bit of background on Amanda. Well, Amanda McKinley is a well-being and creativity coach who has combined study in a number of areas with her own experiences of learning to live with a chronic long-term health condition, to become a passionate supporter to people as they discover their creative and holistic tools to enable them to be the best possible version of themselves they can be. So, welcome Amanda. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah,
thanks for having me on.
Well, I'm so glad that you could come along and give me your time, and in a short notice actually. It was lovely speaking to you on the phone, and I was really, really interested in listening to your story, and I was like fascinated what is creativity coaches. You know, a coach, just you could hear about a lot of coaches, you know, life coaches, transformational coaches, you know, holistic coaches, but the one who does is creative coach. That's totally different. But before we go into that, I would love to hear about your background. How did you? I mean, we hear and I mentioned in the bio that you have a chronic long-term condition. Do you want to share about what that is? And I'd be interested to find out your journey to becoming a coach. You know,
yep.
So and the condition that you have hasn't really stopped you. That's the thing about that. It's actually made you stronger.
Yeah, and it sounds so silly saying that, but part of me feels almost fortunate that things happened the way they did.
Yeah.
It's coming up for us about 9.5 years ago now. I was diagnosed with a condition called fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. It's actually almost a neurological condition. It's connected to the pain receptors in your brain. So things that, you know, maybe yourself, if you stub a toe on a table or something, you know, it would hurt for a few minutes. Someone with my condition that does that, it could hurt for the rest of the day, or it could cause what they call a flare-up in your body that could lead to you being in pain for a week, 2 weeks. So it's things like that, and it causes other cognitive issues and some other difficulties and challenges to face.
Wow, all that condition. So what did you do before, I mean, becoming a coach? Did you work or did you invest yourself more?
I was a care assistant in an elderly home. I had studied and wanted to work in care all my life, so most people's idea of a dream job, but I loved it. It was great. Unfortunately, it was about 3-4 years into the position, and I started having some issues with my health, fatigue, pain, various things. Was back and forth to the doctors for about 2 years, just one thing or another, having tests, ruling things out. And eventually the doctor says, I think you have fibromyalgia. I had friends that had the condition, so I kind of said, yeah, actually I think I do too. Saw a specialist at the hospital, had it confirmed, and then you start a cycle and a journey of them trying to find the best way to, because there isn't a cure, so you have to find a way to manage the symptoms, to manage, so you then start experimenting with various medications and different painkillers and things. So, and it got rapidly stronger painkillers. I was about 5 years into the process when I hit a moment of, if this is my life for the rest of my life, I want another way to deal with it. Was referred to a fantastic place in Glasgow, the Centre for Integrative Care.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the start of my holistic journey then, because they look at the whole person, they look at the whole situation and start teaching you things like mindfulness, and you use CBT, various things to have you even look at your relationship with your pain, look at your relationship with your condition. So tools I learned there, and it started off my journey to now being a coach.
So the tools you've learned your journey also obviously helped you.
Yeah.
I mean, the pain level that you have experienced maybe lessen, or do you feel that? Because I personally believe that the holistic way, healing your body is really beneficial. I mean, obviously medication is there, but working with other alternative ways to assist the body to heal as well is much better. Because I've come across a lot of people who've had or are going through a lot, have challenging health issues, and who found that finding other things with taking tablets and things like holistics that is assisting them to feel better in a sense. And so from that experience of looking into other tools to improve your own health, you discovered being a coach is something that you enjoy, something, because there are a lot of coaches out there, and obviously I was kind of drawn to being a creative coach. I thought that's different,
It's, for me, I had been creative kind of a hobby. I enjoy embroidery and cross stitch for probably about 10, it's actually probably closer to 20 years now. So it started as a hobby, but when things happened, and I'd always said one day, I would maybe start selling a few pieces and I would do something with it. Didn't quite expect that one day to arrive the way it did, but when it did, decided became self-employed originally as an artist. Yeah. But because of the enjoyment and the benefit I was getting from the creative side of things, I wanted to start sharing that with people and encouraging other people to try and say, well, look, okay, it's not the answer to everything, it's not going to take everything away, but at least it's a tool to distract you from it, it's a tool to help you cope. So to start sharing things with people that way.
That's really good, because before we came onto the show we had a quick chat and you said about teachers at school thought you weren't good at art.
That's the bizarre thing. I wasn't. All the things I love and that I'm passionate about now, it was very much a late development. I'm very much creatively, very much probably what you would call a late bloomer. I wasn't artistic. I liked music, but as far as art and traditional art, I wasn't particularly gifted. As I say, it's developed as time's gone on.
Which maybe you had the ability, of that creative side, you just didn't tap into it at that time.
Do possibly is it.
That's how I see it, is that possibly you haven't tapped. And it's funny thing is, I'm sure there's children out there are told by teachers and parents that you're not good at that, and it kind of holds their life. They think, if I want to do this, I'm not good at it, they never pursue it.
I mean, I had a woman at a workshop last year, made this beautiful painting, and it was the first time I had done this particular theme of workshops. So I asked people to fill in a feedback form, and this woman wrote that she'd loved the afternoon. She really enjoyed it. Especially she hadn't done anything creative since she left school. It was 50 years since she had left school, but because of what she had been told then, she hadn't done anything for all that time. But being given the space and the permission and the freedom to just do something with no judgment, just her and a canvas, she made this beautiful piece of art and she absolutely loved it. And I know for a fact she went and bought more supplies that day.
So I would say to the viewers out there, you know, I'm going to say not to believe what you're. If you believe in something, you know, and if somebody else doesn't see it, don't, you know, just go for it. I would say, you know, sometimes in life it's later on that you when you tap into, you have the ability. And it's like, I like music as well, you know, I love music. I would say I never could sing, but I am in a choir. I love it. It's not because I want to be a professional, it's because I enjoy it, you know. And you know, there's maybe people out there want to do something creative and be something. They might think, well, somebody said I'm not good at it, so I'm not doing it. But I say to them, go and do it and find out for yourself.
Definitely.
That's exactly. Now, tell me what a creative coach does exactly. What's the...
Basically, it's like I just said, I give people space and freedom to just explore different mediums, different creative tools that they can then use, as I say, for stress relief, or just as a distraction from pain, you know, just for various, just even just the stresses and escape the stresses and strains of daily life. And so many people out there are using it. And recently I was at the Independent Living Scotland exhibition. I was on at the exhibition centre. And for the 2 days, there were all these people with disabilities, long-term health conditions, sharing with me how they're using creativity and how, you know, the part it plays in their management of their conditions. So it's giving people the space to try that is the biggest part of the creativity coaching, and encouraging them, you know, to try.
It's you know what you were saying, when, you know, I know that when a lot of us have experienced headaches, for example, the very simple things that we usually get, and if we're kind of focusing on it too much, we feel it more, whereas if we're distracted, you just don't feel it as much. It's similar to what you're talking about, is the creative, you know, people kind of moving away of in that space of pain and just focusing on it, and then rather than that, focusing on something else that they enjoy doing, and then they feel more comfort, you know, or less discomfort. I think, you know, that's why I think, you know, that's why I understand.
Definitely it does. And I mean, as I say, I know so many people that are using either colouring books, people that crochet, stitch, paint, all for, as I say, stress management and all the other different issues that people have. I
know, like people like do like knitting, you know. I used to like crochet. I was younger, I know it's a bit weird, but I used to enjoy it. You know, you could just and at school you were kind of taught crochet and knitting, and I don't know nowadays at what they're teaching in school, maybe just how to use an app or something. I really don't know, right? Computers, all tech. But at that time, you know, we used to do the crochet. I used to love that. I made a hat. I remember making a hat with baubles and top of the hat and my scarf. And I might be giving away my age, but that's a long time ago. So I really enjoyed it, and I think that's something, and we lose that as we grow adults. We lose it, or in a child, that we know we could put it away, but we need to go back to being more creative. And
you're saying about apps, I think now as well, there's so much out there now, technology-wise, that some creative stuff is seen almost as old hat or old-fashioned. So it's maybe encouraging people to, although I will say about apps, you can get colouring book apps.
Get colour. I suppose kids would love that, having an colouring book. But actually, you know, I would love to have a piece of paper. And the thing about apps and a book, because in the book you put pressure into it, and with the app it's just like kind of sliding.
I have tried a couple of the apps, and I don't like them. I wouldn't discourage people from using them, because obviously some people have to find what works for them. But for me, I'm a very tactile person. I like the feeling of different textures, maybe the pens and pencils in my hand, or if I'm using wool, I like to feel the wool, the fabric in my hands. It kind of adds to the experience.
That's what young children go into nursery, they go paint on their face, the hands, and all walls, and it's just the feeling of it. It's just, that's the fun side of it. So let's explore some of the tools that you have, that you use with your lines.
So the easiest way, as we're saying about the art of colouring, is, and I always joke about the books because there's so many. I mean, this was from the works. It's less than £2. You've got all those pages, and it's all these lovely mandala.
I think we're debating with a piece of paper.
Debating because it's nice and white.
Yes, nice and white.
Hopefully people get the general idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, I joked to someone that there was a book I had, and I think it had like 200 different pictures in it, and I said that's like 200 therapy sessions. You know, so the book was £1.50. If you buy a packet of pens, maybe another £1, and you've got all that time, because especially the detailed ones. So that's you basically buying yourself hours, good few hours of well-being.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can just sit, focus, and I know so many people that, I mean, my mum, bless her, she swears by the colouring books. I bought her one a few years ago to help her with some issues. And just as a present, it wasn't, you know, as a therapist and as a coach, it was just to help out my mum. And I unleashed a monster.
Oh, the monster come out.
She absolutely swears by her. It's her #1 coping technique now for things. You know, if she's feeling a bit down, she's feeling a bit stressed, she will go get her colouring books out from her rather large pile of colouring books that she has now. She's got so particular about what pens and pencils she uses, and she's got very artistic with it. You know, it's so funny from this, no, I can't do that, to seeing her just use it as a coping tool. It's great. I know I'm a member of a craft group with some people with the same condition as me.
Yeah.
There was a girl that comes along to that. When she came more for the camaraderie and the being with other people with the condition, because she wasn't really creative. So we said to her, well, why don't you try some colouring? She did that and she grew from, oh, well, now I've coloured in, I could maybe make a card with it. You know, because it's like once you take it, but you can actually just you do little things with.
Look at that.
In my best Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. Colouring in, and I've got it upside down. There you go. But so she went from doing colouring in to using the colouring on things, then going, oh, well, maybe I could try some knitting, maybe I could try some crochet. And she can now crochet and knit soft toys. So she grew again from starting with the colouring books. So
I know a lot of viewers might be thinking, oh, well, that's did for children. No, I mean, you know, we were so thinking, that's my son or my daughter does that. I'm not going to colour in.
As far as adult colouring books goes, I mean, there's ones with lovely artwork in them, but even theme-wise, you can get them in everything. I have seen Star Wars and Star Trek ones. My mum, bless her, got a Coronation Street one.
Coronation.
There are ones that if you really want to de-stress and you like colourful language, shall we say, there are ones that are full of swear words that you can colour in and make the swear words look nice and colourful. There is everything. Whatever you are into, whatever sparks your imagination, there is possibly a colouring book for it.
We're also talking about meditation, and I know the fact that a lot of people out there have difficulty meditating to kind of calm their mind, and they've got a lot of thoughts coming in, and I know personally I get a lot of clients saying, I can't meditate, my mind is so busy, I can't focus and all this. And this is a good thing to have this tool, because for those people who can't meditate like that, there's an option here that just could start colouring in the book like this, and what's happening, you're focusing, and that's when you all the thoughts stop and you're focusing on that's what it is. That's tools for.
Did you say we were talking earlier, and I was explaining that there has been studies done that colouring in triggers the same reactions in your brain as meditation, because it's that, as you say, it's that focused, mindful, zoning out of everything else activity. It quietens the thoughts, and
that's exactly. And I think I would say to those people who can't meditate quietly or can't sit quietly, maybe try the colouring book, just sitting and just colour, and it's that, guys, it's that focus, it's that tension, and just everything else kind of your mind doesn't really wander, because you're focusing on that one point.
And I mean, and we all say that we don't, people say they don't draw or they don't do anything, but sometimes I'm sure we've all done it. You sit and if you're on the phone to somebody, you get a notepad, you're doodling in the sides of the paper, you're drawing or you're shading in bits, and everybody does it. And it's that creative side of your brain trying to kind of come to the fore.
That exactly. I mean, I was thinking that, that's what I do. I'm on the phone, I'm doodling away, and next minute you put the phone and you're just like, what? I created that without realising it. You create. That's exactly what happens. But I'm not going to say that I don't listen to the other person on the phone. It's just that my mind kind of splits up and they kind of focus on something else. But yeah, I think that's amazing. That is, as people who can't meditate, is if they want to, colour in and focus on that. It's really this book. It's got so many kind of designs that it was just like detailed designs, that you could actually sit and I don't know if you could see it, but you can maybe. It's really going to be good because you can do this like for hours. Just that one page. Or
for as long as you need it. Some of the designs can be a bit intimidating probably if you're first into it and there's a lot of detail.
Yeah, a lot of detail.
So maybe you just start with one section.
Yeah.
One corner.
Yeah. That's really good, yeah. I mean, I've loved that. I was thinking recently I need to go back and do a bit of like painting or something. It's like it's in school. I'm going to say wasn't that great at painting. I enjoyed it. I thought, why not go and get some, go to a class or just paint anything, But so you could turn it. So what else can people do?
Again, following on from what you said about tools to help you meditate and bring in that meditative state. This is quite good. It's a lot of good craft because it's recycling plastic bottles, which I know is a big issue for everybody at the moment. Yeah. We're saving some plastic from being sent off to landfill. And all I've done with this, in fact, I might even let you have a go if you want.
Yeah.
If you look, there's glitter and sequins in the water.
Yeah.
And the idea is, first you get the fun of making it.
Yeah. And
then you get to sit and you can watch when you need to de-stress. It gives you a focus point for, you can look at the glitter, you can change the colours, you can tailor everything to your needs. I stuck some purple sequins in there because 99.9% of the time my colour is purple, which is why I was really chuffed to see your dress. But that is so simple. It literally takes 2 minutes to do. 2
minutes. It's water.
Yep.
Water and glitter.
Bottle of water. This is glitter paint.
Yeah.
And some sequins. And again, what I'm saying about things being affordable and the cost. You can get half a dozen bottles of water.
Yeah,
if you buy, the thing is also you could reuse a bottle or a jar, anything that you can have water in.
The great thing is when I'm looking at this glitter, I mean, it is very relaxing looking at it, just sitting there. And, you could have your own children looking at it. The kids.
It is so popular.
Children.
Yeah, the whole camera thing is so popular with kids, and obviously because they can make their own, they can add in. And then I've just gone for the little sequins here. But you can add in, there's ones you can add in like bits of pom-poms, you can add in buttons. You can tailor it to, again, tailor it to your preferences and your colours. And if you're doing it with children, then you can let them make them up as well and add their own bits and pieces.
Yeah, it looks really good. So to all the mothers who are maybe watching, fathers as well, if you got young children, maybe get them to make some, work with them and start creating something amazing. It's very simple. Water, glitter, different sequins and colours.
We could literally do one now and I will show you how quick it is.
Yeah, why not?
Or you want to?
No, let's go for it. Let's Let's have fun. Right. That's what after the last few shows we've been having a lot of fun in the show.
So this is literally just. Do you think?
Yeah.
Right enough?
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And put a wee glitter on it. That's how simple it is.
Honestly, this is literally how simple it is.
So for relaxation, that's exactly what you can do.
And again, it's getting in touch with your inner child thing because it is probably very light.
I think that's what we are. I think when we grow up, we forget about that. We think that tapping into in a child is for even for men, it's not masculine or women thinking they got too much in life, to look after other people, and they don't have time to. Look at that.
That's it.
Have fun, yeah. And it's, as I say, it's very even more fun to do with children, with them getting them together.
Quick tip, if you're doing it with kids, you might want to put a little touch of glue. Once you've sealed it, you might want to put a little touch of glue around the lid of the bottle or the jar, just so that they can't unopen it and spill the water and things everywhere. Yeah. Just for safety.
Okay. So you could put that anytime if you're feeling stressed, and just kind of turn it around, and I can look at the colours, just can focus on it, and that can help you relax.
Relax.
Something that you don't really think about, but because we think about going for a walk, or a park to relax, or as we talked about meditation, someone might be saying reading a book, and some people go to a gym, all this stuff, but doing something like creative, that's really something I haven't thought about, just kind of focusing on.
Things like this, as you say, people with young kids, they maybe can't get out.
Yeah.
Which can add to their stress as well.
Yeah.
So if they can turn it into something they can do and they can involve the kids in, then, it can become, and it's getting kind of, as a family, a way of working on stress release, managing of mental health. Say mental health because we all have mental health. It's not just about having a mental health condition. We all have to look after our mental health.
Oh,
so if you do it as a family, all the better.
Oh, definitely. Doing it as a family, it's looking after our own health, mental health, emotional health, and obviously all that links to physical health.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to me so many things in the show that we should be looking after that, our emotional, mental health, because it does make a massive impact on our physical health. And doing things like that definitely will, calm our mind. Also helps us relax physically, physical body element. So what else have you got? I noticed you've got a lot of things. Yeah.
Last one. So, as I said, I'm a very tactile person. I like my threads and I like my yarns. And this is some yarn wrapping, which again is it's very repetitive, so it can seem a bit boring. And again, we're recycling. I like recycling as well. So, washed out jar. I will pop a bit of glue on the. I don't want anybody panicking, thinking, God, that's a big jar, she's going to be here for a while. Yeah. so I like, as I say, the wools are quite kind of soft, fluffy and soft. I love
soft wool.
It's quite good for.
I suppose you could use any wool.
Yeah, you could use any wool. I mean, you can even do it with string. I've done with twine. So this is where you might have to get a bit messy, because I realised I brought a brush and then left it in my bag. You would just start like that, and you're literally wrapping your way round.
Wrapping it.
Right the way round the.
So do you put glue at the bottom just to keep first layer? And then after that, you just kind of.
It should hold. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends if it wants to play nice or not.
Yeah.
But you just keep the glue handy, and you just. Let's see if I can hurry things along a wee bit.
Yeah, that's okay. No. Take your time. Yeah.
And again, as I say, it's that repetitive.
And I think if you do it slowly, if you could tighten the wool together,
and eventually it comes out like
this.
That. And I have done that on bottles, photo frames. It's just that repetitive motion of.
So, is the colouring book? Which one's a popular one that people, with clients go for?
I would say the colouring book. The colouring book is what I would call entry-level creativity. It's reintroducing yourself with the way you did it as a child. and it gives you the confidence to then want to try other things.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people enjoy that, especially children as well.
Yeah,
enjoy that.
I mean, that so many of the things, they are quite not childish, but you know, child orientated almost. But it is because you're trying to engage with that inner child. You're trying to, you know, connect with that part of you.
Yeah, it's just, we're saying that, yes, we forget that. You know, as we grow up as adults, we seem to lose that.
Yeah.
Most of us do, and then we get kind of stuck in life. I think we think that.
Sorry, I'll end up keeping all night with this.
Doing something like creative isn't really for
and
most
it can
people,
open conversations as well. The creative stuff. I mean, I was fortunate enough at one point someone had asked me to go and do some stuff with a care home.
Yeah.
And it was sort of early November, so I decided we would make our own poppies. So you're giving the people a chance to make their poppies. But while we were doing that, we were discussing, so what's your memories, what's, you know, we were talking, so it opened a conversation as well. It was a tool to open a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's another reason why, from a coaching perspective, I'll use creativity, you know, because you can look at the colours people are drawn to use. You can look at, you know, even just what a particular picture or something that they choose to make means for them. You know, that's what they do with art therapy. That's, you know, there's so many different aspects to that. So creativity is such a great conversation starter, I think.
Yeah,
from a coaching point of view.
I mean, it's, as you mentioned, the elderly, elderly are getting lonely, and say for example, in nursing, even at home with the family members, they feel, you know, they're, as you said, they're child, and then if you go in between adult, and then you become in a certain age group, you know, elderly and older, or I don't want to call it elderly, but it's the grandmother or something. They feel like they're kind of isolated because they can't communicate with the family. And I've noticed myself that a lot of elderly people love the creative. They really get connected into the inner child. They become they become a child, so they're connected and they love doing those. That's why it's that knitting and crocheting, and you know.
But it's calming.
It's calming, you know. That's the thing. It's calming, and it also helps them with the focus, because elderly, you know, the memory is also kind of goes slightly, but also to improve that. Something like creative like that helps. Yeah. So what's the age range of people? I know people use it with some conditions, the pain and something like arthritis and like other kind of mental issues that they maybe come on. Well, to see you or you work with. Is it kind of a variety of age groups?
There's not a set, you know, and I don't limit. I will work with anyone who, you know, feels that we could do something together. I will, you know, basically a people person. I will help anyone who thinks that I could help them.
But you were saying about, I want a quick look, because I've got some comments here, and see because see what people are asking questions, or let me see here. Yeah, this cat said Amanda is so motivational, fabulous, simple craft ideas that will help so many people. Thank you, lady. I can't hold the. Thank you, ladies. This is really good, Amanda. Really good way to relax, which is people are actually taking on that board as well. So yeah, there seem to be, you know, the people are relating to that. They're saying that it is a way to come, and most of us never thought of that. I'm personally thinking about. I didn't really think about a creative, anything creative that would relax me. Yes, I might have enjoyed it, but I never thought of like a relaxation-wise kind of thing. You know, so You've talked about social enterprise, you mentioned on the phone to me, so tell me a wee bit about that.
Yeah, that's the big plan for next year. One of the things, probably might sound a bit as if I'm on a soapbox here, when it comes to a lot of well-being things, my experience, as I say, as someone with long-term condition, has been that a lot of the things that are offered to people that are very helpful are also very expensive. And often the people that need things the most are the people who can least afford the prices.
Yeah.
I am not for a minute questioning anyone's business models, anyone's pricing. This is just something that me, from my own experience, I feel passionate about. So I am hoping and planning to take most of the therapeutic side of my business down a social enterprise route, because then that allows me to stick to my ethos of making it accessible to all. So as mentioned it earlier on, I was fortunate enough to be referred to the Centre for Integrated Care in Glasgow. Now it is an NHS resource, but not every health board will refer there, and not everyone has the access to that. So again, for me, it's a passion to provide things, you know, like the creative things and the other things that I've studied in the other services I provide, to as many people as possible, and for it not to be just about the money. So that's why I want to follow the social enterprise model, because obviously that opens doors to you for funding things that allow you to reach and sort of give back to your community. So to speak.
That's really good. You know, you've got a vision, because that's your future plan for next year to do, and I think many people are going to really, really benefit from, you know, from the skills you're going to share with them, you know, and if, you know, from all age groups, and it's something I think that is very, very important, because personally I feel that it's not really out there. You know, people don't really talk about this side of it, using the creative skills to help people with pain, you know, for emotional condition, because, you know, we obviously have a holistic side, but this is totally different, I think, and this is fun. That's a great thing. It's fun to do. And it's something that I got people in mind that would really benefit, and I'm sure people who are watching today might have some ideas, and they might think, you know, they might find colouring books in the home and start colouring books and sitting there and just doing it, and find that really helps with their physical. I'm sure they will, and that's the great thing about the show, is that people like yourself coming on and sharing the skills in your own experience, how, you know, to help others as well, and you benefited, and you've been helping so many other people on that side as well. And
that's another reason why I'm so passionate about when you were kind enough to invite me on. I said, yes please, because it's, again, going back to say my health journey. So I want people that have chronic health conditions to know that there is hope, there is a way through. You know, you can. It's not necessarily the end. I mean, I was devastated when I had to give up my job. Thought I would never find anything as fulfilling again, and here I am. So I say, May next year will be 10 years since I was diagnosed. I am so far removed from where I was at the start. It's frightening. You know, it's one of these things people say, what would you go back and tell your younger self? I couldn't go back and tell my younger self, because my younger self would not believe, even that person 10 years ago would not believe that the life I have now could be so positive, so fun. Yeah,
I'm so inspired that with the health condition that you have, and there's so many other ladies, and I spoke to a lovely lady today, and she's so upbeat and positive, and just like yourself, that you're not stopping. You know, your health challenge is not stopping you. You're just going through it, and you just, you know, you're making headway. You're creating paths for other people. You know, it's like a you're the chariot of the car. It's like going ahead and clearing the way for other people, and that's what we need. We need more inspirational ladies and men out there to inspire other people, saying, you know, they're not alone, and then you know, they could do so many things, even if they're going through certain things in their life. You know, so many challenges in their life, and people like yourself coming on and saying, like, look, I'm going through this, and look what I am, and this is what I do for people.
I mean, essentially that's the other thing about this, is that another reason why I became a coach, because I wanted to say to people, this stuff, you know, it's not that I went and did a course, although I have done courses, but it's as well as I have done a course, it's like I have done courses because this stuff was helping me, you know, so it's like the courses were done to back up what I already knew.
I think the best way to learn from people is the people that have been through a lot of stuff, you know. Maybe there's certain people that read a book and then share with other people, that's fine. Yeah. But I like learning from people who've been through, because they feel it, they felt how it feels to be in that shoe, and then when they share it with other people, you know, they should kind of talk from the heart, to saying, listen, I know how it feels, you know, I've been through it, and you go, and then people are watching and listening, they have more belief in, and they have more strength, saying, you know, that person went through, I know, if she could go through it, I can as well. And I think, you know, you've inspired a lot of people today.
It's one of those, as long as if I reach one person that needed to hear it, then that's
it's amazing, amazing what you did. I mean, thank you for bringing in the lovely crafts. You know, I mean, you could put, after decorating this park, you could put so many things in it, and you could make it into a jar with the flowers. You know, you put water in it. It looks lovely. You know?
Glass bottles are really good for this. If you're going to make if you want to put flowers in it, the glass bottles are quite good for this. Wine bottles, and I even did an iron brew bottle for
iron brew bottle. We talked about iron brew today. Iron brew bottles, you could use that. So, oh my, that's amazing. I'm going to have a quick last look at people here watching. As I said, they love what you know what you've been sharing, Amanda. And you know, a lot of people want to watch after it's recorded. But I think in what you're doing, keep up the good work. And you know, I'm looking forward to your social enterprise next year. You know, could we hear more about how that's going, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of funding. You know, I'm sure you have a belief, you're positive, you're going out there and getting it. Go for it, girl.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. I see. As I said, people have, you know, it's like they love what you shared, but unfortunately, it's run out of time.
Oh,
you know,
already?
Yeah, I don't think that was quick. Yeah. I didn't realise that. I was like, you know, well, that's what happens in life. It's like enjoying the topic with somebody. And I'm so lucky that every guest that comes, and I love the topic, and it just like flies by. Time goes by so quickly, you know. But as I said, me, you know, could update me how things are going, and possibly get you back into the show.
Fantastic. Yeah. Love to come back anytime.
Well, thank you everybody for joining in. I mean, I'm so thankful that Amanda come along and shared knowledge and her skills, and brought a lovely demonstrated some of the tools to the studio. It's amazing, and I'm very, very thankful for having all the amazing guests that are coming on every single week, and just talking from their heart. That's what I like, and they're very, very passionate about what they do. And that's exactly the show is about, is sharing. There's so many people who are doing amazing work in the world, and we don't really hear about them. We hear about big celebrities doing work, but what about people, you know, who are quietly doing amazing work? And we should be getting in front of the camera and sharing sharing their story with the world. The world is full of goodness, and we hear about things that are negative, things that what's going bad in the world. We should be focusing on what's good. So I hope you could join me next week. The thing about next week, I'm going to say quickly, is I will not be filming in the studio. Next week I will be in a fashion show. So I'm hoping to be live from the fashion show next week. It's a part of a charity, Malawi charity. So I will be doing a quick video from the Malawi charity fashion show. So I hope you could join me next week, next Wednesday. And the week after that I'll be back with another guest. So I want to say thank you to the viewers that every week that watch me, support my channel, sharing this video with so many other people. I want to thank everybody out there. Thank you for inspiring me, inspiring me to do this video every single week, this show. And I hope I could see you next week from the fashion. That'll be even fun. It'll be a lot of entertainment. I'll be talking to a lot of people in the fashion show, but plus I will be walking down the catwalk myself. So I hope to see you next week, and have a lovely week. Bye.
If you have a dream